Dear friends, we are glad to meet you again in our channel ULM English. I am Julianna Apostle, psychologist, translator and volunteer. We examine the philosophies of different religions to see if they have clear answers and solutions to the complex problem of modern society. Today we will analyze the part 3 of interview with Bhante Shivling from Theravada Buddhism monastery in Bodh Gaya. Listen and then I will comment.
But it's called like nirvana in Buddhism.
Buddha says that nirvana actually means desire, no desire. Nirvana. The ni in Hindi and in Sanskrit, nik. Nik means nothing.
Nothing.
Nik. And vana means is kind of desires. Vana. So this is how this word comes. So nik means nothing. Nothing means what nothing? It is the desires. It's called trishna. We call it in trishna.
And it's like ultimate condition.
It is the ultimate. This is actually what comes when we keep on observing our thoughts. At the end, we find nothing. This is called nirvana. Ultimately, it's find emptiness.
I don't know it's possible to answer for this, but in such condition, like living in this world, yes, because it many things, whatever we want, what we want to do, it means like some ultimate condition, not in this world, it's something else.
Right.
Like ultimately, like Buddha attained, so it's not connecting this ultimate nirvana.
Exactly.
So, and it's like ultimate aim. Attain that nirvana.
Yes, you see, the nirvana is not conditioned things. Everything is conditioned to this world.
Here.
Yeah, this world. Here. Everything is conditioned. So when the conditions are there, there's a reaction to each condition.
No, we are living, so it's normal.
So that is the normal condition. People has to adjust with the condition. They are living in the conditions. So when the meditator, when the developer is meditation, it has to go beyond this condition level.
But he living in this world also in such because it's not possible. He should do anything.
See, I give you an example. Have you seen the lotus flowers?
Yeah.
How these lotus flowers comes? How? From where it comes?
From some seeds.
Yes. Before seeds, it needs what? It needs that kind of mud, dirt, water. That pond.
Yes, some pond.
That pond should not clean. It is the dirt. Otherwise, lotus doesn't come. If there is no dirt, the lotus doesn't come. For lotus, you need to put mud. From the mud, only the lotus comes out.
But lotus not recognize it's that or clear because he can't recognize. For him it's like his area.
Because he's unconscious. He's unconscious. Yeah. Lotus is unconscious. That is why the Buddhas, people like Buddha or the saint, they are living in this world. The world is full of conditions. In this conditioned world, Buddhas are coming up. Still, he is living in this world. The people are living in this world. Everything, all the dirts, all the bad things, good things, everything are there. But Buddha comes up. Buddha comes up because he has to live with this world. Buddha speaks the language of this world. Buddha eats the food of this world. He travels on this earth. And he talks to the people. But still, he's just like a lotus flower. Why?
By his mind.
When this comes, he is not conditioned with the water. Once the lotus flower comes up, he is untouched with the water, untouched with the dirt. But he is living in the world, in the conditioned world.
But it's interesting, but what he was feeling, he was happy.
Everything is there. That is why.
Because he has all sense organs.
Exactly. It's we have already discussed this question. Because in our mind have two conditions all the time. It's called the duality of the mind. Mind is always duality. It sometimes is good, is bad. Negative, positive. Truth, lies. Darkness, light. So this is how the mind continues. And this is called conditioned mind. In this both, always. Because sometimes we smile, sometimes we cry. You know?
Yeah.
This is how the mind works. You know, sometimes cruel, sometimes kind. You know, this is how the mind works. So these two energies are always working. So when Buddhas, what Buddhas do, what the great such a saint people doing, they develop this. They understand this both are energy of the mind. What is negative energy, one is positive energy. So they understand this reality. So these are two energies which is working all the time in the mind. This is a duality of energies. So sometimes, but Buddhas never ignore, you know, Buddha never ignored both. And he only realized this energy, how this energy works. So what Buddha thinks,
Like absorbing.
exactly, he observed. What Buddha thought, thinking, Buddha thinking that we can realize this energy and we can transform this energy. This is what Buddha is doing.
Transform into
This-
something.
Exactly. Like if it is the too much of negativities, suppose, your energy, suppose, your energy is full of negativities. You know, if you go to Buddha, what Buddha doing? He can read you from your talks, discussion. You know, that is why he said Buddha. So when you discuss with him, he can understand what energy you are having. What is you have a negative energy or positive energy. So accordingly, Buddha can change. If you have need that changes, so Buddha can change that to the positive energy. And he can transform some energy to you. He can give you some kind of recharge, you know.
It's like my mind energy become positive, and like, but what is my sense organs? I just everything looks like positively.
Yeah, when you go
How?
to that,
It's very
yeah,
good
I give you some
sound.
good example of a lady. Her name was Kisagotami, one lady. You know, her newborn child died, birth, death. So just by birth, the child baby died. You know, so the lady become so frustrated, so helpless. You know,
Yeah, sure.
so this very you know, as a mother. So she becomes so painful. So nobody could control, matlab, confront her. You know, she was traveling, running here, there with dead body, you know, asking any medicine, if there anyone to cure, you know. So everybody thought she's mad, you know. Otherwise, how this dead body carrying? So if one person told her that why you don't go to Buddha? Buddha is nearby. In a vihara, in a temple, you go to Buddha and ask if he can do something for this. You know, what then Buddha says, when she went to Buddha, she kept this baby at the feet of Buddha. Then Buddha looked at her, her body, her mind is so helpless, and she become just a street lady, you know, just like running here and there. So then what Buddha says, this lady asks, please Buddha help me to give life to my baby. You know, I want him to come back. So then what Buddha says? Buddha says to her that, okay, I can do that. You see, now her energy changed. You know, she was crying all the way. When Buddha gave this answer, though it's impossible, you know, Buddha gave this answer, yes, I can do that. You know, this her mind changed now.
Yeah, she got hope.
Exactly. So she got hope. First thing is that. So her mental condition changed at that moment. You know, this is how the Buddhas or that kind of spiritual great people do some kind of things, you know, to change the mentality of the person at that moment, because the suffering, the miseries. So Buddha want to take her out of the miseries. She was in dark, you know. Buddha want to give some light to her heart, you know. So that is what Buddhas did. That is why we call Buddhas are very compassionate. So Buddha looked into the heart, you know, her heart. So then Buddha asked her, you do one thing, you go to this village nearby and bring some mustard seed, some mustard, you know, seed. There are so many in India, this mustard seed.
Yes, yes.
You have seen. So ask her to go and bring some little mustard seed. And she was happy. Now more hope. But then Buddha asked, but you have to bring this mustard seed from a home where no one never died. Nobody never died. This was the condition, you know. But she still had hope. She still had hope. I will get some mustard seed, you know. She went all throughout the village, since morning to afternoon, and everywhere everybody is happy to give her mustard seed. But then she asked, have anyone died here?
Yeah.
Then every home they say, of course, why not? It is our mother, father, children, grandfather, so many. So then I don't need, you keep it. So in this way she was walking all around until evening, afternoon. Then at the end herself understood, realized that this is not only for my baby, you know, the death is to all.
That is all,
everyone. So he herself changed, transformed herself by realizing this. This is a very simple example. What Buddha
but she become happy.
Happy. At the end, the realization brings the happiness. Otherwise, there is no happiness. Please understand this. If you do not realize, even the suffering, you become happy. You know? If you do not realize, this is the suffering.
I note that our comments, it's just not baseless criticism. We reflect and analyze. If you don't agree or think such analysis is not right, write comments. We will be glad to hear your arguments. In our opinion, many stories from the ancient sutras are not enough correct. And we need to seriously reconsider how they reflect reality. Especially in modern world, when people are more developed and science developed too. For example, Bhante gives the example of Kisagotami, whose child died. And he says that Buddha transformed her negative energy into positive. But from a scientific point of view, there is no positive or negative energy. There is just energy. In fact, Kisagotami's shock of her loss finished because of changing in her understanding or attitude to that situation. She once again realized that people are born and die, and there is no meaning to suffer so much. But does such realizing could really make her happier? We don't think so. Especially if a child dies. Old people's death is more natural. It is unlikely that when she went from house to house, she met many families with children had died. Some understanding helps you to accept the situation. It makes suffering less painful, but it does not completely free, and it does not make you happy. There is another question. Why adult woman does not know that death exists? After going from house to house, she learned that everywhere people died. But didn't she know that before? The sutra says that Buddha also didn't know. But this is because his king father did special management, fearing that his son become a monk. Ordinary people are very well aware of it, but when death comes to their loved ones, they still suffer. Buddha was teaching that all suffering has a cause, and if we correct the cause, the suffering will stop. It turns out that Kisagotami was suffering because of ignorance. She did not know that people are dying. And when she realized that people are dying, then her suffering finished. This sounds unrealistic and even psychologically wrong. Often old stories from scripture sound so unrealistic, and therefore they don't give a correct understanding. People listen them, sometimes tell others, but it does not change a lot their lives. And even active followers of Buddhism also suffer. I know this both from myself, past experience, and from the experience of my Buddhist friends and clients. Any person in difficult, tragic situation will suffer. If such a teaching really helped, then many would want to follow it, but we know it's not. There is one more, not enough correct comparison. Buddha as a lotus growing from the dot. A lotus is an unconscious flower. It doesn't try to free others from dot or desires, and it's not understand it at all that he is in dot. This is his normal living condition. Such comparison of Buddha with unconscious being does not sound correct. Next, about nirvana, which means no desires, no wishes. But in our understanding, no one can live without desires. We can't make a single action without desire. Every day a person wakes up and starts to do something just because he wants it. If he feels hungry, he goes to cook or buying food or doing some work. For example, Buddhists also explain people dharma because they have such wish. Condition no wishes can be or in deep depression or if a person dies. Another kind of wonderful state without wishes, unrealistic. Now, about the dualism of mind. That the mind divides everything into positive and negative, bad and good. But the mind itself, not dual. It is not the mind that creates good and bad. We only emotionally react on the outside experience. One can learn to control the mind, develop logic and analysis. It will help to accept situation more calmly, wisely, realistically. But this will not free us from suffering and negativity, only reduce them. A wise person may not think unnecessarily into suffering, but his mind also be negative in bad circumstances, even if not for long. So, we experience duality, positive or negative, depending on external circumstances. The wisdom of understanding reduces suffering and increases joy. But also many changes need to be made externally in our actions and outside conditions, not just inside. Only by changing the mind we can't stop all suffering. Many real, practical actions are needed. These are our questions and conclusions. What do you think? We would like to hear your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to our channel, put likes, share if you liked it, and contact with us if you want to come for open live discussion. Next time we will continue to analyze interview with Bhante about suffering and happiness, wealth and poverty, meditation and social transformation. See you again. Stay with us.